Welcome back to KSWU News. Thank you again for joining us today. Today I'm joined by Daria Dennison. She is a double major in theater and mass media here at Washburn. Daria, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you very much.
All right, so I hear there's a big production, lining up here for Washburn.
Yes, The Crucible. It's going to be it's one of Arthur Miller's most well-played productions, and it's I've had a really good time being a part of it.
Awesome. So now that you're kind of used to Washburn, what made you decide to want to come to Washburn?
Actually, the fact that Washburn had a film department made me want to come here, because I was considering Benedictine, but it was just cost efficient, and it had everything I wanted to do. Yeah.
So you said you kind of want to focus on the film aspect. What are kind of your future dreams, in the film industry?
I want to become a filmmaker/actress who not only creates films with meaningful messages in them, but as playing actress roles that can communicate those messages.
Great. And I know that being part of the theater, you have to audition for things that come up. How do you kind of go into an audition, and what's your mindset, and how do you prepare for that?
Well, when preparing for an audition, I read the script and I focus on the characters that stand out to me, like characters I may want, some of the major characters, because you never know what role he's going to have you read. Mm-hmm. So I focused on Abigail and Elizabeth Proctor, mm-hmm. which were two of the major characters in the show. Right.
Have you had any experience with The Crucible before? Have you maybe been in it or just read it before?
Yes, I have. In junior year of high school, I read the play, and we studied the history of the play and how it tied into the McCarthyism mm-hmm. and the communism scare in the 50s, and how a lot of those the symbolism it connected to the Salem witch trials in 1960 or 1692.
Cool. So coming into this is your first college play, and did you approach it any differently than you would in high school, or was that a little intimidating for you?
I was a lot more nervous because it's a collegiate environment, and I wasn't sure how the types of actors I would have come across. There are definitely a lot more guys here than at Hayden, but it was actually a very laid back audition experience.
So then once you got the part, when you heard you got the part, what was the first thing you did? Who was the first person you told? What was your initial reaction?
I'm like, Mary Warren, I'm trying to remember who she was. Yeah. And then I think I told my mother first, mm-hmm. and she was really excited for me. And then I went through and realized that Mary Warren actually has a pretty big part, and she's a very complex character. Mm-hmm. Although many people don't often see her that way. Great.
Well then, now that you've gotten the part and kind of the newness is worn off, what are rehearsals like? I've never gotten to be part of a college production, so I'm sure it's got to be exciting and a little bit nervous sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes it can be very stressful. We start off the rehearsal process. We do a read through, and then we go through blocking the scenes, where the actors move, where you enter, where you exit, a lot of the stuff that isn't within the script. And then this week, we're going through dress rehearsal. We're adding lights, sound, costumes, and this is the week that it gets really stressful, mm-hmm. but it's also a lot of fun.
Great. Well, if you're just joining us, I'm joined here with Daria Dennison. She is playing Mary Warren in the upcoming production of The Crucible by the Washburn Theater Department. And Daria, I'm really intrigued at kind of how a collegiate production works compared to high school. How many Washburn students do you think are in the current production of The Crucible?
There's about 21 students, so it's a pretty big cast.
Yeah, is that different from when you were in high school? Maybe more people, or maybe just a different kind of people?
Well, our productions were about somewhat around the same size. Maybe a fewer people, but there are definitely a lot more guys. And then because there's an equal number of guys mm-hmm. and girls in the cast for The Crucible.
Cool. Is it tough to do a show that because a lot of times you might do shows that maybe people have never heard of? Mm-hmm. Is it different maybe preparing for a show that people have more than likely heard of, especially like you said in in high school, most people read it, especially here in Kansas. Is it different, kind of preparing for a show where people have maybe heard of it and you have to try to present it to them the best you can, knowing that they know what's going on?
Yeah, it's because you experiment with new ways of telling the story. And one of the difficult part about The Crucible is the language that is used, because Arthur Miller created an entirely new dialect for the characters that may not have even existed in Puritan times. So it's dealing with that diction and those speaking roles that's also very difficult.
Cool. Can you talk a little bit about maybe the sets and the costumes? Are they a little more elaborate than when you're in high school, or is it different now that you're in maybe a bigger production?
So the set for The Crucible is actually very simple. There are some design panels in the back, and there's a 3-tiered ramp, and we just have set and prop pieces downstage. But the costumes are not like pilgrim costumes. They're actually punk goth type themed.
Wow.
So it's like modern, but it's historical at the same time. It's really kind of a cool look to the whole production.
Awesome. Are you, I know you probably you haven't done the production yet, but are you kind of looking forward to your future here at Washburn and other productions you might be in?
Yes. I absolutely love the theater department, and I'm actually here on scholarship for the theater. So I'm definitely going to be a part of helping out with the productions next year, and I really want to audition for the Glass Menagerie. I think that'll be a really great show. Awesome.
Are you planning to incorporate? You said you wanted to be an actress, obviously, with your filmmaking. Are you planning? Is that why you're double majoring, to kind of incorporate the two?
Yep. So I can get the design skills on like the set, the costume, and the lighting design, and the for the film part, so I can get the behind the camera scene experience. All
right. Is there a date and time for the shows this weekend?
Yes, it is November 14th and 15th at 7:30 p.m., November 21st, 22nd at 7:30 p.m., and the 23rd at 2 p.m.
Fantastic. And what are you most excited about for this weekend?
I'm really excited to see the people that come and their reactions to the play, to this take on it, the costumes, just the whole audience experience from it.
Awesome. Well, Daria, thanks for joining us. We've been joined here by Daria Dennison. She's going to be in the upcoming production of The Crucible here at Washburn. And I know I'm looking forward to seeing it, and I'm sure there's others that will be as well. So thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Stay tuned, and we'll be back with more news from KSWO News.